board this webinar when we're going to look at how ClubWise can assist you in bouncing back from these difficult times of that we've all gone through this last year. Can I just firstly, one little house rule on these things, if we can mute ourselves, that'd be great. And then if you have any questions, of course, as we go through, please don't hesitate to just unmute yourself and ask away as we go through. Secondly, sorry for looking like Count Dracula, but my hair today at the moment hasn't been cut for about 3 months, so I thought the Count Dracula look was certainly better than the Albert Einstein look that my partner says I have every morning, so I thought this would be the better look. So I'm not here to do any blood sucking or anything like that. So as I say, what I'm not going to do is, I don't want to go through a demonstration of ClubWise as such. I know some of you on here are customers, some are potential customers that are going through setup, some are prospective customers who have probably had discussions with someone at ClubWise or coming to us for the first time. So what I really wanted to do, what we wanted to do today is just really give you an overview of what ClubWise does, and then look at a few strategies that I'm sure you've seen in the press, in the trade press or anyone else, various emails you might subscribe to, etc. Retention people and the such like. Just some of the strategies that they've talked about and how we can help with those, with implementing those. And of course, you know, we've got ideas as well. And if you guys have got ideas and want to discuss anything with either with each other or with us, please do so. I'm going to go off video while I go through the presentation, but then come back on for the Q&A at the end. But as I say, any time you want to ask any questions, please do so. So if you're all right with that, well, let's crack on. And what we're really looking to do, as I say here, is to show you how we can help you with moving forward with bouncing back at this difficult time. Good start. There we go. So what I'm looking at doing today is just giving as I say, an introduction to the all-in-one ClubWise solution. And what ClubWise is a uniqueness on the marketplace, is that we do wrap everything into one single cloud-based solution. So we give you unlimited users to the system. We give you a cloud-based system, so we look after all the hosting and everything else you'd expect nowadays from any service, well, what they call SAS service. But we basically wrap everything into one integrated solution. So the key of what we do is the billing. So we are an FCA accredited billing company. We don't outsource it to anyone else. We do all the billing ourselves. We are a BACS bureau and FCA accredited, as I say, and we will have to go through accreditation every year. So we run all the billing for you and integrate that into a on-the-spot club management system. So whenever you need to find out the status of a member, you can do very, very quickly. It's updated on an ongoing basis, and as payments are made or not, as the case might be, we will then update that system automatically, or systems updated automatically. As part of the billing process, we can run arrears payments for you as well. We can run communications to the members, but one thing we don't do that other companies that you've worked with in the past or work with now might do is actually fine your members for going into arrears. So we don't levy additional charges on your members, which in this day and age certainly has proven to be something of a negative that clubs have found. Members are struggling enough as it is without them being faced with extra charges. We help you generate new business as well. So we have a lot of tools in the system to help you generate new prospective customers or members to your club, which again is going to be very important as you come out of lockdown, come the beginning of April. And similarly, we look at working with you and providing tools to bolt the back door so that you can retain those members. I think it's true to say that a lot of clubs nowadays think all about getting new members in, but actually sometimes forget about bolting the back door and how to retain those members. So we have lots of tools to help you do that. And finally, we have a member app that we're going to look at as well, that basically gives your member access to lots and lots of features that you can provide them with, and lots of productivity from a perspective of making sure that your members, or your staff, are freed up from doing a lot of the mundane stuff that you do in a club, and that members are doing that for you. So with everyone, we provide them with a very standard ClubWise package, and this is basically not rocket science, and everything we talk about today isn't necessarily rocket science. It's a lot of it's common sense, and a lot of it is there to help you as a club free up your staff members, as I say, to spend more time with the members that they need to. So we provide you with all facilities you need to sign up memberships, as I've just said, and then we, as I say, feed that into the billing cycle that's run on a monthly basis. We offer flexible billing as well, so we can either do billing on any day of the month or the first of the month, as a lot of clubs like to do. They like to get a lump sum at the beginning of the month. And as I said, we can then run a credit arrears, a credit control process for you without physically chasing the members by picking up the phone, but just putting communications to them, branded with your club logos, etc., that comes from the club, because we think now especially that the member wants to feel that the club's looking after them, not some mindless billing company. And as I say, the member management system is continually updated so that when members check into the system, be it through a normal QR code or swipe card that we'll show you in a second, or through access control, the membership will pop up, or their member's name will pop up, and you can very quickly see whether they're in arrears or not, and whether you need to take action, or indeed whether they're a member or not, and whether you need to take action on that. And all this good stuff is all very well and good, but if you haven't got the information at your fingertips to actually understand what's happening in your club, then you're pretty much running blind and not getting productivity out. So we provide you with a comprehensive KPI dashboard and reporting tools as well, so that you're always up to date with exactly where your club is performing against sales targets, against income targets, with any targets that you might set yourself. You have that ability. And we also have the ability in the system to text and email your members. So again, it's very important you keep up to date with them, keep in contact with them, and our text and emailing system will help you do that on an ongoing basis. And your staff need to be very productive now. Some of you might be considering still furloughing staff as you come out, so you might have more skeleton staff in the club just while you build back up again and can take advantage of the government help. So it's very important that when staff members come in, they know exactly what they need to do each day, and who they need to call, etc. So our task list is there for them to be able to very quickly understand what they need to do that day, run those tasks, and get on with life in the club. And as I say, we have a comprehensive reporting within the system, but we can also push reports to you as club owners and club managers at convenient times as well. So these can be done on a daily, weekly, or monthly basis, depending on what type of report it is. So everyone gets the standard package as part of the ClubWise offering, and we'll look at some of the enhanced tools in a minute. But one thing that's going to be very important to you that we also provide you is a referral tool. Now, this is you're all going to have lost members during the lockdown period, and I challenge anyone who says they haven't, through either just members dropping off because they just don't want to do it anymore, or have just lost the interest, or financial reasons, or whatever it might have been, depending on how you're billing your members during the lockdown period. With our referral program, it provides a very strong tool for you to be able to say to your members who come back to you, and when they come back to you, refer people to our club, and we will simply financially reward you for doing so. And basically, without going into too much detail, the referrals process works that when someone refers someone, they will get a monthly discount on their membership, which continues for as long as they're a member of the club, and as long as the person that they referred stays at the club as well. So you don't have to do anything apart from link the members at point of sale, and ClubWise and the system, dependent on the membership statuses of the two people, will continue to do all the work for you. Some people offer a £1 discount per month for DD, some offer more. It depends on how they go. This is all there to help you basically get more members more quickly through the door. And we all know that the greatest salespeople in your club are your members. Okay, they're the ones that really will drive your membership up at this specific time. Okay. What we also have to make your staff more productive, as I said, if they're not, you might have to be thinking about not having a receptionist at this stage, or not doing it quite as you were beforehand, is to basically take ClubWise from a desktop solution, i.e. sitting on a big PC or laptop at the front desk where you have to go to do things, to actually enabling staff to walk the floor with a tablet or an iPad and put ClubWise, as we call it, ClubWise Mobile, ClubWise onto one of those devices. All our services are available in there apart from point of sale, which we have. That's not yet available on ClubWise Mobile, but will be. But the idea is that the staff will be able to, as I say, walk the floor, talk to members, book them into classes, even join prospective members up, excuse me, to the club as they walk through the club. That can be done as well. As you're out in the field prospecting, if you want to get back into the town centres, doing all that, you can put prospects into the tablet, and as soon as you then reconnect to the Wi-Fi in the club, those prospects are sucked up into the system, and we can start automated campaign emailing, etc., which we'll come on to in a second. Excuse me. And you'll notice there we also have digital signature. So again, trying to take away just at this time, the human interaction, for want of a better term, the need for people to sign paperwork. All this can be done through a tablet, and digital signature just enables them to quickly sign that digitally, and that's then stored against a member record and saves you having to store reams and reams of paper in filing cabinets as well. So everything can be done now on the mobile. So it can be, as it quite rightly says, it's a mobile situation for staff both in and out of the club. And we talked about Fitsense, which is our member app. I'm just going to quickly press this as the new video that we've just, that Joe, our marketing manager, has put together. So I just want to play this for you now, and hopefully you can hear it. So I'm just going to press the button there. So I hope you all got to see that, and let me just scroll down to the next slide. It obviously is a fairly, oops, sorry, hang on, there we go. It's obviously a fairly quick video, that, but just to recap on that, the Fitsense app, something we've been working on over lockdown is the ability for clubs to, as you see, customize it a bit more. So rather than having our standard brand, is to have, although where you see the Fitsense logo on the right there, your club logo appears there, there is the ability now to put some more coloring in and just make it a bit more branded to what you look, the look and feel of your club's colors as well. So rest assured, once members download Fitsense from and log into it, it will say your club name there. Again, the ability to check in is very important nowadays. Again, they will create a QR code on the screen that will check them into the club. And if you're using access control, obviously it will trigger the doors, etc., etc. They can book themselves into classes, and we'll come on to that in a second. They can, again, do the referral process. One key thing that you've looked at is workouts, and the ability for staff members to put together workout programs using not only predefined videos that we've got in the system. I think there are about 250 odd of them, but they can also, if they're so inclined, to create their own videos that the club can do and also then send to members as well. So they can include those in the workout programs. You have a cardio setting in the system as well in Fitsense, so that they can map their cardio walk, cardio exercise. And within the enhanced features that we'll look at in a bit more detail, you've got the Fitsense rewards program, slightly different to the member rewards program, but this gives points for usage of the club, classes, etc., and visiting the club. And those points basically equate to prizes that you can then use, as you can see on the top there, top left, with vouchers, etc., that you can create. My body and is something we'll come on to in a second, which is basic body composition measurement using Tanita scales. People can also, you saw in the video there, in-app payments is possible, so you can run a shop, as it were, through the app, and then that can be taken by payment by credit card, which can be stored for future payment, etc. And group heart rate zone. So not beating about the bush, it's very similar to My Zone, but it's a ClubWise offering. It's, again, inbuilt into the system. You're not beholden to buy specific, there are specific usables of us. There are polar monitors that we recommend, but you don't have to buy them off us. So the next slide here just shows you what the body composition would look like. There are many more slides to it than that. The heart rate looks like in the middle, and the Fitsense rewards looks like on the right. As I say, the body composition is a whole new demonstration in its own, and we'd be more than happy to show you more in time. But that gives you an idea of what Fitsense does for you. And as I say, we'll be using it or looking at it further as well when we move into the bouncing back side of life. So that's giving a quick overview of what ClubWise does. As I say, it's very important that you understand that we are unique on the marketplace as much as we offer this integrated solution. We're not a software provider, we're not a DD house or DD provider. We are an integrated solution for our customers. And what we just really wanted to do now is just run and look at 6 strategies, for want of a better term, to help you bounce back after these times. Now, as I say, this is not rocket science. I'm not going to profess to have thought these all up ourselves. You've probably heard them before, some of them, but what we wanted to just do is try and integrate into how ClubWise can help you with these strategies and what elements we can provide for you. So the first one is basically minimizing the perceived health risk of returning to gym. Now, as you say, you're bound to have all lost members. I don't know if you've got the thoughts of putting together a video of a walkthrough of the club and how clean it looks and what you're doing on a regular basis, etc., to keep it clean, or will be doing. Obviously, that would go on your website, etc., to help you do that. But what customers or members are going to be more interested more than anything is, am I returning to a safe environment? Am I going to be surrounded by 101 people in an unclean environment, etc.? So the first thing that we can do is using our campaign manager tool, using our active CRM, which is the ability for you to push emails and text to members on an ongoing basis and prospects on an ongoing basis. Using that, you can reassure your members that you're doing everything you can to meet the safety protocols and the government guidelines and any other UK active guidelines that might come out, etc., in the coming months, days and months. So the idea is that you will be able to, excuse me, you'll be able to communicate with your members, as I say, on a regular basis, but make sure that they understand exactly everything you're putting in place. And it's very important that you show that you're socially distancing potentially while that's still in place. Show the marks on the floor, etc., that you've got, and everything that you've been doing over lockdown to make your club an effectively safe place. What members also want to be able to do is understand how many people potentially are in the club at one time. So we, during lockdown, have built in capacity insight into the app, so that at any one time members can see who's in the club. They can see the trends within the club as well over the last 7 days, see when the busy times are, and plan their visit to the club accordingly, or on one-off basis if you allow that. Because what clubs have been doing after the last lockdown and before this one is actually getting members to book into the class, book their visit, which is, again, is something that we adapted and developed for ClubWise and the Fitsense app. So you can allow members to go in, book their visit to the club. As you can see on that left-hand screen there, we also have put in and developed and added some COVID safety guidelines, which clubs found very easy and very useful, and the member has to accept those before moving forward. And it's just like they would do for booking actually a class, but enables them to very quickly set their timescale. They'll get notifications of when their visit's about to start and end. And what you can also set is, if you've got access control, if they haven't booked in at that time, they will not be allowed into the club. Not to say they can't stand at the entrance, and if there's room, book there and then and enter, but they can't just use the club without having pre-booked their session. So it gives that safety net, it gives that comfort factor to members that you're thinking about your capacity, about how best to utilize the gym, and what numbers you can get in at certain timescales through the day. When they come to check in, we've already touched on this, that we have a QR code facility within the club. It's very secure. It's dynamic QR code that's created each time the member comes to the door. They can't screenshot it, etc. We had a lot of clubs who were using fingerprints beforehand. They've obviously approached us now and said, can we now change out to QR codes? So that's happened a lot. Fingerprint is becoming less and less prevalent. But certainly with the app and with the QR code, we have the ability now for members to very safely press a QR code and know that they're allowed into the gym, and that and you as an owner know that that member is the member that's booked that class, that session in the gym, and no one else. So a very clean and safe and environment to check in. We touched on this already. Classes aren't probably going to be returning for a few months yet, although the gyms might be open. My understanding is that classes aren't going to be happening for a few more months yet, possibly as late as September. Clubs did this in the last lockdown, but virtual class is something that we again developed during lockdown. It's going to be here to stay as well. I think virtual classes will be here even when normal classes return. I think people will still have got used to it and still want to do a virtual class, or won't have the time to get down to the club, so want to do a virtual class. So again, members can book into a class as they would a normal class in effect, then download the video, and that could be a video that you've uploaded or linked to a live workout as well, one or t'other, depending on how you want to operate that particular class. And members can also book and pay for those classes as well. So what it's trying to do here is enable you to offer a rounded, wholesome class environment for your members who still might not want to come into close contact with people when your classes return in September or whenever that might be. And talking about classes as well, this is just something we've thrown in here. Not all of you have the ability to do this, but I was thinking about this a bit more and thought, well, clubs might not have nice green grass outside, but a lot of them have got car parks. So encourage your members, now that spring is here, now that summer's coming, we think, to maybe, instead of using the car, walk down to the club as a warm-up and then hold classes in the car park. In fact, they can't use their car because it's now being used as a studio. So that's something maybe to consider as well. And a lot of clubs have been doing that as well, and are utilising car parks for all sorts of classes. I don't need to tell you what classes you can do or can't do outside. That's your bag, that's your profession, that's what you do best. And obviously, over the lockdowns, people have been developing or using a lot of home fitness. There's obviously, this is going to be probably one of the major things that you come up against, is people saying, well, I'm either doing it at home, or I actually don't need to come to the gym anymore because I'm walking, I'm doing things outside, etc., etc. We all know that traditionally, and let's be honest, the summer is also a quiet time for the gym. So this is, again, a lot of hard work involved in this area to get those members back in to the club and experience the club experience. To create a home gym like a gym is an incredibly expensive option to get the standard of equipment that you all have in your clubs. And a lot of clubs, the right clubs, your clubs, who generate that right energy and motivation within the club, you don't get that at a home, working out at home. I know I did, and my colleagues who might be on this call will laugh. I did, like we all did, a few sit-ups here and there, the first one, and that got less and less and less, and I found myself not doing it. I've tried to keep going, but it's difficult to do that. So you do need the gym potentially for that motivation and for that kick up the backside to get you going again. And it's, you guys, with the coaches, with the fitness instructors, with the PTs, with whoever you're set up in that respect, are the guys who can best provide that. So that your members are seeing results, which is ultimately what they all want to see by joining a gym. It's all about results, but then some want also that environment. A lot of people use the gym like they might a golf club or a tennis club for the social side as well, so they don't get that at home as well. So it's a very important thing that you try and implement all the technology that you can to help you provide that. And I think hopefully you've seen with some of the things that ClubWise can do, that's the very key part. And one of the most important parts is the My Body, the body composition tool that we've talked about. So maybe you can't do at home is offer, health assessments, health programs, update body measurements, etc., using the Fitsense, the My Body tool. It requires a set of meter scales, which are portable, so you can actually, again, going back to prospecting and looking at prospective members, especially as summer's coming up, you can take that down into the shopping centre and do measurements there for people. It's got its own carry case, etc. It's a portable bit of equipment, but you can also put it as a value-added service to the club as well. What I think a lot of clubs need to remember as well is that you're going to be keen for as much revenue as possible that you can drive from your members without fleecing them. And this could be a value add that you look to add to your portfolio And you know, even if it's charging a member £1 to go to have their body measurements taken, or up their DD per month to include, you know, certain number of sessions or unlimited sessions to My Body. This is going to help you retain those members, as well as provide them with valuable feedback as to how you're performing as a club, and in helping them achieve their goals and how they're getting there. All of this feeds up into their app and into their results, so they can see it on an ongoing basis as well. Again, just underlining how everything that ClubWise does is integrated into feeding into the member results. What we also developed over lockdown is the ability for members to reactivate direct debits. Now, rightly or wrongly, a lot of members will just have cancelled their direct debits over lockdown. They might not have told you. You might not have noticed, for whatever reason, through your current provider who hadn't maybe provided you with that information. But what we've done is try and make it easy for members to reactivate those direct debits, to save you having potentially awkward conversations with them about reactivating their direct debits. But basically, it enables that member to quickly say, do you know what, I will rejoin the gym, and they can reactivate that direct debit that they stopped and pick up their membership where it left off, in simplistic terms. It does require them to sign a mandate, so you would need what we call the digital signature element we talked about earlier. You will need that. So when they sign up on their phone through Fitsense, they can then sign the direct debit mandate and carry on. I should also point out that not only can your members reactivate, but new members can also sign up to Fitsense through the app as well. So as we're looking at new memberships as well as old, we've made it very easy for members or prospective members to quickly join the club, using club codes, etc., to point them in the right direction to the right club. And the idea is really with Fitsense is that a member could be standing outside your door. They could use Fitsense to join the club through the in-app joining feature. They would then be able to quickly press a QR code on the screen and get into the club 5 minutes later. So they could literally, from start to finish, 5 minutes later, be working out in your club. And just, this is almost like a sort of summary of the above, really. It's really to make sure that if you're going to, you know, succeed with going forward, you need to make sure you've got the right technology in place in the club. We'd obviously like to think that you've seen enough today to see that ClubWise, you know, can help you in this. It's very much all about saving time, of streamlining everything, your operation, your administration, trying to do that. Obviously, there still is it's not going to take it all away from you. There is still, you know, work to be done. They're your members at the end of the day, and this is something that we at ClubWise are very, very keen to stress to clubs. They are your members. They're not our members. We merely administer the direct debit on your behalf and provide you with software to manage those members. It's not up to us to say, no, Mr. Member, you have to carry on paying your membership regardless of whether you want to leave or not, or provide us with this, that, and t'other. It's your member. If they're not happy with the service that you're providing them, it's not up to us to then chase them and tell them they should carry on being the member. We think that it's very important, especially at this time, that you retain that relationship and that both your members and your staff buy into this and work together, as it were, to provide that service and seamless experience for the member. We hope that we can save you costs. It's obviously very important going forward that you keep your costs down to a minimum, and rather than running, you know, and spending time administrating a direct debit system that might not talk to your software management system, because it's all in one, there's less time administrating multiple systems. There's a problem, you go to ClubWise and we basically get it sorted for you. Okay, and in summary, this is just a sort of very quick slide that I've put up just to show you how, I'm not going to read it to you, I'm sure you can all read it, is to show you, you know, some of the reasons we covered just now, but the key reasons for looking at and utilizing ClubWise to help you move forward. So I hope that has given you a very brief overview of ClubWise.